Welcome my fellow YouTuber foodies! Today we are going to make this awesome vegan dairy-free coconut flan. If you have a diet that restricts you from eating flan, lactose intolerance for example, then this is definitely one of the recipes that you can definitely try. It is gluten-free, dairy-free. You know, flan, the original recipe calls for eggs and milk, and this has none of that. And also, lactose intolerance is very, very common in the US. According to Mayo Clinic, there are more than 3 million cases a year from it. So hopefully lots of you can enjoy and take advantage of this recipe. I'm also going to take advantage that Easter Sunday is coming up, and using this coconut flan recipe, I'm going to make this edible landscape of Easter eggs where you can actually eat the grass, you can eat the little Easter eggs. So it's definitely something you can bring to your Easter party, or just have the kids, you know, eat the whole thing and have an amazing time doing it. So come over here and I'll show you exactly what you need to make this awesome flan. So the first ingredient that we're going to use is 1 cup of raw cane sugar, and this is going to be used to make our caramel. We are going to use 2 cups of almond milk, and this is 1 can of coconut milk. You can also use coconut cream, and since we'll be making our edible landscape, I chose these 3 colors for our eggs. This is pink, purple, and yellow. Very important, we're going to be using this tofu. It's very important that you get the silken tofu. Do not get the firm or the other kind. You need the really, really creamy one. This is 1/4 cup of coconut flakes, and these are organic, these are unsweetened, and make sure that when you get them, you put them in the food processor so they're very, very small like this. You do not want big chunks of coconut in your flan. This is 4 tablespoons of raw sugar, the same sugar that we're going to be using for our caramel. This is 2 tablespoons of vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of Himalayan salt, and this is Agar Agar. This is the ingredient that I want you guys to add to your pantry. Now usually we make jellies, gummy bears, jellos with gelatin. In this case, we're going to use Agar Agar powder. Gelatin is made up of animal product, usually cartilage. This is made up of seaweed, and it has a lot of health benefits as well. So a little bit into the video, I'll let you know what are the benefits that come along with, you know, besides not having animal product, that come along with Agar Agar. So let's get started on making this flan. First things first, we're going to make our silken tofu. We're gonna put it into our blender over here, into our mixer. You can put it into a blender, but I do not have a blender, I have a mixer. So what I did here is I put my whipping arm on my mixer, so I'm gonna whip everything. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take our silken tofu and we're going to put it here, and we're going to add a little bit of sugar so we can sweeten it up, so that while we're doing everything else, our tofu is getting that sweet taste to it, because it really tastes like nothing. So it's gonna be there kind of marinating in sugar. And next, we are going to make the actual flan. So let's see what we're gonna do. Okay, so our tofu has been marinating in a little bit of sugar. So right now I'm gonna take advantage and add the rest of the sugar, the vanilla, the salt, and I'm gonna give that another mix. We can start on building the flan. So first things first, you need a medium saucepan, and we are going to add the 2 cups of almond milk, the can of coconut cream or coconut milk, whichever one that you pick. And it's very important that you pick the one with the fat in it. Don't get the non-fat coconut milk. So the fattier the better. This is good fat. And your coconut flakes. And your Agar Agar powder. You are going to bring this to a boil, and once it's boiling, you're gonna just simmer it for 5 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna make our caramel and we're gonna cook them at the same time. So the first thing we're gonna do is in this really small saucepan, there's about a tablespoon of water, and we're gonna add our cup of sugar. And we're gonna melt this for about 10 minutes. It takes a while, so they're probably gonna end up, this is gonna end up melting and the other pot's gonna end up boiling around the same time. So let's go to the stove. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to put our sugar at melting setting, and we're gonna put our pot at around 4 or 5. So this one's gonna be melting and this one's gonna be at a 4 or a 5. So you really have to stay right next to your sugar or else it burns, it sticks. So you're gonna keep mixing like this, and like I said earlier, for like around 10 minutes. So just keep your eye on it while you're melting it. You're gonna do the same thing over here with your coconut filling. So if you have a wire whisk, just mix it so you can incorporate all of it. Okay, so this part you guys have to move really fast. This is gonna be the consistency of your caramel. It gets brown, it gets awesome. In between, it does get really dry, but it will eventually get like this. So don't feel like you got stuck just because your caramel got like powder. It's gonna eventually turn like this, okay? So just have patience and be committed to your caramel. So now what we're gonna do is gonna take our little tablespoon and we're gonna pour a little bit into each one of our plates. These are gonna be our little eggs. You can definitely use another bowl, you know, the usual flan container when making your flan. But for now, because we're gonna be doing this holiday theme of Easter eggs, then we're gonna put them in all these little different size plates. So each one of them, you're gonna put what, like a teaspoon of caramel on the bottom. There we go. Just a little quick story about myself. When I was little, I loved to bake. I loved it. I loved making desserts. The problem is that we did not have an oven. So I used to buy the ingredients and make my cake, and then I would go over to our next door neighbor, which was my aunt, and she would let me use her oven so that I could bake my cakes at her house. So you know what, don't let anything stop you. If you're passionate about something, just do it. You know, I love to bake and make cakes, and I did not have an oven, and I didn't let that stop me from, you know, what I wanted to do. So we're probably gonna have some leftover caramel, and I'm gonna put that in another container so that we can make the traditional squared flan. Let's see. And this edible landscape is gonna look awesome. I can't wait to see the finished the finished product. That's it. And since we have some left over, I'm gonna put it on our big ones. You guys hear that? It got hard already. It gets hard really, really fast. So just spread it out. Oh my God, you only got a little bit over here. All right, so the rest I'm gonna put in a traditional flan dish that I have right here, and just pour it before it actually gets too hard to do anything with. So there we go. That's awesome. It's really, really going back to that sugar consistency again. So work as quickly as you can when you get to the step of working with the sugar. Okay, so let's see. Oh God, look, made a little candy. So we boiled this. We boiled it, and after it boiled, I left it on the stove for around 5 minutes. So we're going to mix this with the rest of our ingredients, which is the tofu, sugar, and what else do we put in there? Salt. We're gonna mix this. And again, this can be done in a blender. And we're gonna give this a mix. They were mixed in the mixer, and now we have, look, it's already started to coagulate. This doesn't even have to be refrigerated to become a jelly, which is pretty awesome. So I'm gonna get 4 spoons, and one of them I'm gonna make pink. And remember, if you're not gonna make the Easter eggs, you can make them like the traditional flan. 2 of these. All of this will make 2 of these, okay? But we're gonna make it fun. We're gonna make an edible Easter landscape. So we have pink, purple, yellow, and I'm gonna leave this one its original color. Okay, now guys, we got our pink, we got our purple, we got our yellow, we got our natural flan color. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start making our colorful flan eggs. So we have pink. This one's gonna be a little pink one. Oops. There we go. Oh man, it's pretty amazing how fast it starts to settle, even when it's not refrigerated. And tip of the week. Tip of the week, I used to do this when I was little. When you want something to just settle down and be even, you can just pick it up, drop it, and it'll just kind of like settle down. So it turned out perfectly, actually. I really think I did think I was gonna have some left over, so I'm gonna add this one here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 little cups. I cut out little squares of plastic wrap. This is really important. You're gonna cover the top of them with plastic wrap, and this is very, very crucial because that keeps them moist. If you put them in the refrigerator without this, then your flan is just gonna dry out. So it's really important for you to put your plastic wrap on top. You're gonna refrigerate these for around 2 hours, and if you want them to just release that caramel, because the caramel is just gonna turn into liquid. You know when you eat a flan and they flip it over, it's just like this whole watery liquid. It's gonna start to dissolve underneath, and it's gonna penetrate your flan. So we're gonna put these in the refrigerator for around 2 hours, and if you really, really want that caramel to release, to just turn into really, really watery, just leave them overnight. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave these overnight. And tomorrow when I get up early in the morning, I'll show you how these look, all right? Okay, you guys, I was very unhappy with the chunky consistency that I got from the mixer, so I took them back out of the containers, and the sugar didn't go anywhere. It stayed right there. And I have this little tiny blender, and I blended it all up, and I was very, very happy with the results I got. I got that really, really creamy flan-like consistency. So I'm gonna take back saying that you can use a mixer. This works way better with a blender. Okay, so check this out. Much better, right, than earlier before. And this is what being in the kitchen is all about, messing up and fixing it and just making it better. So this is way better. This is not chunky. The food coloring just dissolved way better. So what I'm gonna recommend is that when you mix in the food coloring, just do it individually in the blender, so that you get that awesome color from the food coloring and that really, really creamy consistency. So how awesome is that? Okay. So I apologize for misleading and telling you that you could do it with the mixer. I really thought I could. I have made the flan before, and I did make it in this tiny little blender, so I thought, maybe if I use the mixer, I can do it all at once. But I see now that the blender is the way to go. Alright guys, they have been in the refrigerator overnight. Now all we have to do is plate it. And we're gonna make this edible coconut that's made out of just coconut and food coloring. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a small Ziploc bag, and we're gonna put maybe half a cup of coconut from Mr. Bob's Red Mills. All of his products are awesome, by the way. If you are interested in getting these coconut chips, and I'll put it down in the link so that you're able to find these, or you can find them in any health food store around you, or even Walmart. So these are unsweetened, and just make them yours. Add your touch. In this case, we're gonna add a green touch to make it some grass. So we are going to add, let's see, 2 drops of green food coloring. We're gonna zip it up and shake. We will have our green grass. How cool is that, right? So we have our green grass that we made already. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our little eggs. Oh, look at these little half eggs, and just plate it. Oh, yes, I took the plastic wrap off of all of them except for this one so you could see the reveal. So, here we go. We just kind of play around with our plating like that in colors. All right. I think we have an extra one. No, turned out great. Let me wipe my hands off. And what we're going to do right now is just sprinkle our little green grass, and this is our little Easter egg hunt. Let them find the eggs, let the kids find the eggs under all this awesome coconut, and it's this really fun Easter egg hunt that you can, it's a whole new way, right? We usually eat the Easter eggs, but not like this. So here we go. And obviously, you know, if you take the time and put it out, I'm not here trying to just get it ready for the camera fast, but you guys don't want to watch me here perfection this dish, but definitely off of camera, or you guys at home can, you know, do your little perfection touches. So I'm just trying to get the point across that it's our grass, it's all around, it's everywhere, and it's an edible landscape of Easter. That's the last of our coconut. You want to sprinkle some on top of your flans, of your coconut flans, feel free by all means. And now just spread out these coconut chips. Boy, if my mom was here. What are you doing? You're making a mess. And the last touch, no, there's more touches. It's not the last one. I got these awesome edible beads. You can also get these at Walmart. These are my silver ones. These are my pink ones. And it just adds that, you know, color. These are also edible. Pink and some pearls. Oh, those pink ones look amazing. Okay. Let's see, what other touches do I have up my sleeve? You can't ever forget the little sparkle of magic. I have some silver sparkles. Is that glitter in your food? Yeah, there's totally edible glitter out there. So I'm adding these little edible sparklers just to add that magical touch to your plates. And you can get these at Joann's, you can get these at Walmart. You know, these things are not impossible to find. Do not put real glitter, okay? This is edible shimmer. This is edible shimmer, so don't do something that you might regret later. So there we go. I'll take a few flowers to decorate that. Maybe one more, like this. And there you have it. Your edible Easter landscape. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys have a blast having it. in your house so that your family and friends can come over and just indulge in this amazing edible landscape for Easter. So happy Easter for everyone out there and have a blast. That is all I have for you guys this week. I hope you guys enjoyed our first dessert ever on the series, on this episode, on this channel. Super fun to make it. You know, I also learned while I'm making these videos, and obviously I discovered that you cannot use a mixer. It did great mixing the ingredients, but it did not whip them. It did not break down that tofu like I wanted to. And once we did use the blender, even though it was a tiny blender, we were able to create that really creamy consistency, and it definitely looks like flan. I did make the recipe before and it looked great, it tastes great, it was amazing. Hopefully you guys who have those limitations because of your diet, you're able to enjoy this flan and share it with your family. If you want to make the edible landscape, go ahead. Or if you want to be creative and create something else, show me. I definitely want to see what you created with this awesome fun recipe. And remember that leftover sugar we had? Like, it's just awesome to eat it like candy. And once the flan is on top, it starts to just turn into liquid, and it marinates your flan with awesome flavor. I'm Mexican, and in Mexico there's candy that tastes just like that, like this sugar. Well, it's pretty much that sugar. It's like this lollipop, and it has a wooden stick. Excuse me, I had sticky fingers. It's that lollipop, right? Inside it has a whole bunch of spicy goodness. You know how we love spicy sugar. They say we put spicy stuff in everything. We kind of do. So there's like this big paleta. Paleta's like this big. Paleta's lollipop. And it has a wooden stick, a big wooden stick, kind of like the one in the hospital at the doctor where they check your tongue to see how you're doing. That size stick. And inside it's spicy. And this is exactly what it reminds me of that childhood moment where I used to love those lollipops when we used to go visit family in Mexico. So the point is, with the story that I'm telling you guys, is that these flavors sometimes unlock certain memories that we have in our brain, and for me that sure did it. And maybe you haven't been able to have flan in a long time because of your diet restrictions, and that flavor of flan is just amazing. You know, even if you can't eat eggs or dairy, you can still enjoy it, and the coconut flakes and the smell, and you know, it's just amazing. So hopefully I was able to wake up one of those old memories you haven't had in a long time, and hopefully you enjoy it and you share it. If you like the video, give it a like. Don't forget to share. Sharing is caring, so just share it. If you know someone that will enjoy this recipe, please share it. Have an awesome Easter. Stay safe, and I hope you enjoy the recipe. Okay guys, it's been overnight. They've been in the